Well, a very warm and rousing welcome to you wherever you're watching. Here at the end of a delightful spring day is the Estadio do Marítimo, still known here as Estadio dos Barreiros in Funchal on the island of Madeira off the southwest of Portugal. And here you see the two teams going through your screen, both off the back of good wins at the weekend. Portugal beat Hungary 3-0 in Lisbon, but they have picked an almost entirely different side. Of course, there'd be a major outcry had Cristiano Ronaldo not started on his home turf. The other 10, all changes, amongst them a debut in goal for Braga's Marafona, another chance to see Monaco's Quicksilver frontman Bernardo Silva, as well as the dominant Bayern youngster Renato Sanchez. Ronaldo, Sanchez and from the bench Moutinho are the three here who featured in last summer's European Championship final in Paris. The list of substitutes there indicates the extent of the Portuguese depth. The referee is 34-year-old Frenchman Clément Turpin, who was last on duty in Portugal as recently as last November for a Champions League game involving Benfica. Sweden, 4-0 winners against Belarus on Saturday, also opt for wholesale change. They too have just one common factor, in their case it's experienced centre-half and captain Andreas Granqvist. Otherwise they also have one debutant in Bologna defender Philip Elanda. There's a second cap for Sam Larsson, the midfielder currently with Heerenveen in Holland. And another chance up front for Anderlecht's interesting striker Isaac Kisa Taylin, who did come off the bench and scored competitively at the weekend. Moutinho busily away from Klaassen, feeding Ronaldo, who can torment the fullback. Bounced off Seb Larsson, came to Renato Sanchez, who had a thump, and it was always fading wide. First vigorous involvement for Cristiano Ronaldo, and first genuine offensive threat from Renato Sanchez. Crafted well to get a toe on that. Sanchez didn't get quite the contact. Just couldn't take it from Nyman. And Nyman has fed Klaassen. And Klaassen teed it up for the in-dashing Sam Larsson, who didn't get over his shot and saw it fly high. Snatched at by Sam Larsson, winning only his second cap. Did score on his only other appearance. As the Mexican wave begins, here's Nyman. There's a lot of space for Victor Klaassen. And Klaassen's got a shot away and Marafona has clung on to it. And if their front foot football is purposeful, Portugal, their defence inside the first 10 minutes here has a couple of times and by Martins, Ronaldo makes himself back at home. It's what Madeira showed up for. A goal from one of their own, the one of their own. Cristiano Ronaldo was obliged to score tonight, and so indeed he has, for his family, for his extended family. On his island, his goal. Laid on for him by Gelson Martins, and he was not going to pass up that moment. The man of Madeira scores for all Madeira and scores for all Portugal for the 71st time. Held by Nyman. Shifted forward by Sam Larsson and lifted in beyond Taylin. Struck high by Victor Klaassen. indicates his approval of the delivery. It's tough technically to catch that volley, absolutely right. Slashing across it as he was. Grandquist. Tailin. That's a really good ball. And Kraft's onto it, and his pass for Nyman was ideal. Nyman's finish wasn't. Centre forward couldn't have asked for a whole lot more than that. Kraft had made up many a mile from fullback, and his delivery was impeccable. But Nyman, albeit short of time, had space and nervously away by Holt. Back in for Ronaldo! Keepers applied a fingertip. It's actually a very good save by Johnson. As they were climbing off their seats again. Beautiful ball in by Cancelo. And Ronaldo required a spring of the Danilo. Renato Sanchez. Awful lot of space for Gelson Martins. Cancelo's going outside of him. Ronaldo here is inside of him. Ronaldo. Gelson Martins. Goalkeeper's lost it. It's gone in off Grandquist. And Portugal are 2 to the good. Not a thing of great beauty, but it has been coming for Portugal, who've played the more eye-catching football, who've moved the ball with deftness, and who ended up here getting a rather fortunate break. Martins, as he was with the first goal, the supplier, but rather than Ronaldo being on hand to execute, the work was done for him by the Swedish captain, Andreas Grandquist. Replaced by Adair, Pizzi, William Carvalho and Nelson Semedo. Pizzi there in the wall. With Larson and Larson behind the ball, Sam and Seb. Seb wearing 7, his favourite here. Sebastian Larson. It required Marafona to go plunging and making a decent block. It's Larson's free kick, which bypassed the wall. It's not Marafona. And will be keen on a debut clean sheet. Well, if he pulled one of these off tonight, the roof would come off. Ronaldo! Using Arasu over the roof of the net. Nicholas Holt. Tailin. Nyman in the middle. Taylin's hits. Repelled by Marafona. Nyman! And swept in for Sweden by Victor Claesson. And that makes the game of it. In a flash, Portugal undone by the counter. Marafona repelled it as best he could. Nyman kept it alive. His pass was ideally weighted. And Claesson arrived late from midfield to score just his second international goal and reignite the contest on the island of Madeira. And with that, the fairy tale element is over. Notwithstanding the concession of the goal, this would have been a planned moment. An hour of Cristiano Ronaldo with Real Madrid business upcoming, quite sufficient. He got to hold the trophy, he got to lead the side, he got to absorb the applause, he got to score the goal. more or less as they imagined it, or at least hoped it. And as he was in the final of the European Championship in Paris, he is replaced by the veteran Ricardo Quaresma. Victor Claesson, the goal scorer for Sweden. Jimmy Durmaz. Lustig from fullback. Durmaz, Claesson! Hoiked it wide. May have got a deflection. Durmaz had a go at it. Claesson. Jimmy Durmaz with the corner. With to Claesson! He's nicked it in and Sweden are level! It's a really smart finish from a near prohibitive angle. Marifona may feel it is an angle he should have had covered. Nevertheless, that little Swedish enclave of support has plenty to cheer. 2 goals on the night now, 2 second-half goals for Victor Claesson. And didn't he do well to get a stud on that and to steal it in at the near post where there was precious little room. And from 2-0 down at half-time, Sweden have dragged it back to 2-2. Durmaz, taken away though by Renato Sanchez, who jives and feeds Quaresma. Taken away by Janssen for Sweden. But here's Quaresma again. Aim towards Adair. What a critical touch from Pontus Janssen. Claesson, I remember this night fondly. Claessen's cross, Taylor couldn't quite get there. Having scored 2, Victor Claesson pretty close to becoming creator of a third. Nicely distributed for Quaresma. Shot as he fell came in from Semedo and was wide. Nicely teed up by Quaresma. Angst on the Claesson. Oh, it's lovely, and Holt is round the back now for Sweden. Holt's ball in, it's bounced in, and Sweden have won it, courtesy of a Cancelo own goal inside the last 20 seconds of stoppage time. It is a quite extraordinary turnaround. A team that trailed by 2 to an own goal after barely half an hour has come from that deficit to win 3-2 by an own goal right at the death. One fullback dashed beyond the lot of them to the line, and his pullback hit another fullback and dropped in, and faces dropped, and shoulders dropped, and heads dropped, and smiles dropped, and the whole mood falls flat. It was the last meaningful touch of the game. A terribly anticlimactic end from a Portuguese point of view to an otherwise utterly engaging game of football in which Portugal played most of the good football. Ronaldo scored his fairy tale goal to give them the lead. Brentford's own goal doubled it. They held that 2-goal advantage at half-time, but Claesson came back with a couple for the Swedes, who, with the last attack of the game, courtesy of Cancelo's inadvertent touch, went on to win it. The final score in a rather bemused and bruised Madeira now. Portugal 2, the disbelieving Swedes 3.